franchise Shane Douglas, and you watching Pounding the Meat.
We here.
We live.
In color.
Yeah, sorry I didn't have a lantern ready for y'all, but we're here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a pretty wrestling filled weekend. It was a lot of events. Actually no, it was two events, but most people watch one. But let's get into it. Before I jump into the topics at hand, I must do something very, very detrimental for me.
Ouch.
And it's going to make it makes me upset as a wrestling fan. Last night, there was a match between... Okay, stupid camera's following me. There was a match between Orange Cassidy and, as I like to call them, Pockets.
In his little dog pockets.
There was a spot where they traded off 3 consecutive Canadian destroyers. I'm sorry, but shit like that makes it hard to be a fan of AEW or indie wrestling in general for spots like that. I understand you want to get your spots in. I understand I'm not in the business, so I really don't have a leg to stand on about speaking on this, but let me speak on this.
Were you a booker?
I book on wrestling games. I booked my own promotion in elementary school, middle school, high school, and college. So, yes. I bet you can essentially say I had my own indie promotion. But that was unnecessary. It was like, I don't understand. Well, it's already bad enough. There's plenty of finishing moves that are no longer finishing moves. We'll discuss off air because I'm going to need that kind of pick me up. It makes no sense for this, but P.D. Williams had a beautiful move, the Canadian Destroyer. It was a finisher.
Yep.
Now it's a setup move. It's the super kick used to be known as sweet chin music. Now it's a spot.
Whoa. It's a signature, I'll say that. Okay.
What you do in your little broken video game is your choice. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to knock you for that. Nor am I going to defend you. This is back to the actual live action product that they're putting out on a Wednesday. I actually like Orange Cassidy as a wrestler.
Ugh.
Because I've seen him wrestle. I know what he's capable of. It's the fact that you're taking moves. You're for lack of a better term, you're bastardizing him. You take away all the impact from him. No pun intended.
I agree with Fro.
There's no argument there. The DDT used to put you out. Now it's
I'm sorry. We lived through a big leg drop and belly splash. That was finishers.
Speaking of belly splashes, I guess I'll get on my soapbox about that as well. Actually, there were 3 events. NWA, what the fuck was that? Tyrus bounced. Well, He leaned against the ropes because nothing bounced, and then just jumped on EC3 and like he killed him. But Tyrus, you're retired now. You got forced to retire because you lost. I can't say I miss you. I can't say that at all. It's probably a good riddance, buddy. Don't come back. We don't need you. Somebody call his mama, tell him to stay home.
Can NWA go as well? Sorry.
NWA needs to be bought by another promotion and use as a feeder program.
I think, yeah, they need to be like a minor league, like an NXT to somebody. I'm sorry.
So, I've
Can't
got
get into it.
But I mean, who would you minor? Like, okay, the NWA minors for AEW at this point. You got two minor leagues.
Well, you had Evolve, which was kind of like a minor league to WWE and NXT. You could do that with NWA.
Yeah. You have people go in there, get themselves, hone their craft, and then work their way up. Like,
NWA could be like AA. NXT is AAA. WWE is the main.
at this point, the true feeder program is my favorite company. Impact. People go to Impact, rebuild themselves, and then they go back to the majors.
Yeah.
But Impact still puts on better stuff than what NWA is doing.
I mean, you always gotta go, back to the minors, clean up your swing, and then come up to the.
Ha, 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 ha.
You know
Yeah,
how I'm sorry. I love me some TNA. From 02 to 2012 or 13. That was my TNA. I can't. I lost touch with TNA a little bit.
But here's the thing: they've been around for 20 plus years. They're doing something right.
They are.
They're
Still going strong.
And they're actually about to do some great things. They're beefing up their production, so expect some major changes. Camille needs to get away from NWA under all circumstances.
You know who would? Camille. She would look lovely in NXT or WWE because, WWE's main roster women are hurting.
A lot of injuries.
A lot of taking time off.
I'm gonna co-sign with Nico, and Justin. Impact being the parent company of NWA would be talking about going full circle all the way around. Ospreay is definitely coming to the United States. I'm just actually hoping he does not go to AEW. Before you AEW marks come after me, there is a reason I'm saying that. He's too big for them. He needs a broader stage. Yes, they just did Wembley. Amazing turnout. I think he was wasted in his match, but I'll get to that in a little bit.
What?
Him versus Jericho.
We'll get to it. So you think Ospreay's going to go to WWE? You think he should go there?
I think he'd be better there, yes.
In my mind, I've said this many a times. Ospreay's the best in the world right now. No one's touching him in the ring. I will fight anybody on that at all.
Okay.
You ever watch Ospreay? I've seen him live, the best I've ever seen live. And I've seen Brett, Shawn, Sting, Hogan, Flair, Goldberg, Savage, Razor. I've seen them all. Like Ospreay, man, it's just like poetry in motion with him. My only issue with him going to WWE is the fans will know him. The fans will know him, but will they put him in a position to be? Because you cannot have him as mid card. You got to have him in the main event spot.
Yeah.
Like, that's my thing. Like, if nobody's ever seen an Ospreay match, go watch it. Go watch it.
Right. This is Justin just said something, but I prefaced this earlier. Impact is basically the proving ground.
Well, I mean, it's nice that Ospreay likes to help out these little promotions, you know.
Little promotion is 20 years old. Okay. But neither here nor there. I would put it like Nick. I almost called him Nicholas. Nick. I agree with you. But this is where managers come into play. Ospreay could be the new Heyman guy. He has the talent. He has the cockiness. Let Heyman be his manager.
You know, timeline wise, when's the contract up?
Is it this year or?
Ospreay, he said 6 months.
Yeah.
So you're looking at maybe March.
And it works out because Roman's taking a big chunk of time off, right?
He's supposed to.
That's a rumor.
So, I can see him taking time off.
I heard he's got like 4 movies lined up or something, some shit like that.
That's all on hold right now. Until that writer's strike is over, we ain't looking at nothing. There's a reason Cena's coming back for
a nice schedule.
Every episode of SmackDown. So
there's a reason why a lot of writers are doing shows like on Netflix, Paramount Plus.
Maybe there's still hope for Rocket Mania. Keep the writer's strike going a little longer.
His only other holdup would be the XFL. That silence wasn't purposeful. It just happened.
XFL did pretty good.
XFL was fine for what it is. Like, just don't go into it thinking you're watching Philly versus the Cowboys on Monday night.
It's a good thing they're like a minor league to the NFL.
And then let's see, but let's go back and do what we were supposed to do before I got on my soapbox. So I apologize. Greetings, everyone. Let's see who's in the crowd tonight. Greetings. We appreciate that.
Sometimes you go forward, you got to go backwards.
Good to see you, Kirk. Great to see you, Miguel. Mr. Panetta, we definitely know what that means. Nico. Justin.
But you know what? The Rock's probably putting over like his products. You know what I'm saying?
Cute product placement. We're open for sponsorship. Just saying. Shakan, thank you for being here.
No, you gotta say Shakan.
That's Vinny. I'm Mike. My energy ain't. It's been a long week, so my energy ain't as what is energy.
Vinny's got the little guy, big energy.
Yeah. What up, Ron?
What's poppin', y'all?
What up, Fro? What up, Nick?
Hold on, I gotta show this. Boom!
Okay. But let's hop into the meat and potatoes.
I just don't want to be saying bruv all night like two dipshits who went to go see All In.
All In was All In just happened. So that was a perfect segue. 81,000 legit sold tickets.
Paid attendance.
That's what I'm saying. Legit sold tickets. 90,000 plus counting staff and stuff like that.
So we know WrestleMania 3 had 60,000 paid and like 33,000 not paid probably.
But I'll give them credit. 81,000 is nothing to sneeze at.
No, it's huge. But my question is for you guys. for the big it's AEW's biggest event ever. What was there? Was there a Macho Man versus Ricky Steamboat match? Did they have that match that made the pay-per-view worth it?
There was a couple that actually made it worth watching.
Because
There was only one low point for me. That was the Stadium Stampede match. That was my legit bathroom break.
you know, my thing with like All In, like, because if you look at the last time wrestling went to Wembley, SummerSlam '92, how many good matches was on that card? Bret and Bulldog, that's it. Savage and Warrior was not bad. Martel and Michaels was not bad. Like everything else was mediocre.
We had three, so I'll give him 3.
But like All In, like to me, the Bucks and FTR match, phenomenal. That match was I was like, man, that match is gonna be hard to top. Stadium Stampede, I'm sorry. I did not like Pockets getting the win. I understand why you did it. You know, Tony loves him. Tony's making him like Roman. Get it? I didn't like that. Sting and Darby Allin, man, versus oh my God, Swerve and Christian, not bad. You know,
Swerve needs to get more mainstream time.
yeah. I love Swerve.
I don't know why.
Man.
I don't know why, but every time I see Sting wrestle, I get anxiety. Like I'm just waiting for him to just kill over in the corner of the ring. I feel like that's how that dude's gonna go out. He's gonna run, and then just fucking light switch. Like it's just I don't know why.
I
popped big, and I know Jones did because we texted.
Yeah.
When he came out to that WCW theme.
Yeah. When Seek and Destroy hit, I was like,
so I'm driving home from work, and I hear it. I'm like, oh, hold up. Like, shit, I'm getting like 91 Sting coming out. You know, Punk and Joe was a good opener.
Yeah, that was definitely set the pace.
It
I liked
me
that match, even though there were some elements in it that made me cringe. But
you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of like an ROH Classic match that he had. You know, like it had that feel good. Ospreay and Jericho, I liked. I'll tell you this: I give Jericho credit. He held in, like he held his own. I thought when it was announced, I'm like, man, Jericho. You know, Ospreay likes to move fast. Jericho's gonna hold him down. Jericho's gonna move slow. You know how Ospreay is. Man, Jericho held his own. I give it to him. But I mean, you cannot let Jericho beat Ospreay. There's no way. Whatever, Jones.
Ospreay was
the main
going
event
at half speed.
He still put on a good match, though.
He was going at half speed.
But but it didn't.
Jericho was dripping sweat while Ospreay looked like he was still ready to have another match.
I understand that, but it still was a pretty good match. One of Jericho's betters in the last, year and a half or 2 years. The women's match. Women's match.
But how old's Jericho now?
Like in his lower 50s.
See, that's kind of like my complaint is like, do they have anybody else that can go against Ospreay versus instead of Jericho? Is Jericho really taking up a spot? Like, I don't know. I feel like when you're that old, you're kind of starting to take up a roster spot.
In this instance, I have to disagree because they got hit with the injury bug the week before the show, and there was a lot of people who had visa issues, so some matches also had to be scrambled.
I mean, there was also rumor it could have been Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson.
That was Omega and Danielson at one point.
Omega, Danielson, like. But I don't mind Jericho. Like, Jericho's still a big name, so he could still get that rub. The women's match, I didn't mind it. Saraya not going over, I thought it was cool. Hometown pop,
I just think they should have been given longer than 8 minutes.
Yeah, it seemed quick. But I liked how her and Tony were like fighting. We talked about
Yeah.
this in the back.
When she hit her mom, I was like, damn.
Mercedes Moné being in the crowd, I think it's gonna. Tony, said at the press conference, "Hey, we're gonna probably bring in Mercedes face Saraya," which would be a good story because we already know who injured Saraya and forced her to retire in the first place. So that'll be good.
Yeah, the history's there, but at this point, you really can't blame her because it's a contact sport. You already had bad issues anyway, so it's not like anything could have happened.
So the main event for me, loved it. It had everything you want in a match. The emotion, storytelling. Like you saw Cole turn heel. Like MJF was playing the face. Cole was turning heel. Like Cole was going to do anything to win that belt. And then when they did like the double pin, and the crowd just started booing, I'm like, oh no, please, no, you cannot end it like this.
I was about to be pissed.
Yeah.
I was about to say you went all the way across the ocean to do a screwy finish. You could have saved that for Dynamite.
Yeah, but with Roderick Strong getting involved, I understand, it played good. You know what I thought how they were going to do the finish? The roll-up, I had no issue with that. I thought they were going to do the sunset flip pin, like Bulldog, Brett. They kind of did a throwback with a roll-up win, so I'm not mad at it, but, I could see those two wrestle any day of the week. They have perfect chemistry in the ring. To me, my two favorite matches were the Bucks and FTR. And the main event. Oh, I forgot about the Trios title. Not bad. Happy for Daddy Ass and the Acclaimed winning.
This is their title.
Did anybody else watch it? Anybody else watch the pay-per-view?
I watched bits and pieces of it. Like I said, I enjoy Maxwell. That was a good match. I still call her Paige. Enjoy Paige. She's multi-talented. Hey, give Tony credit. He opens up the money. He opens up the pocketbook for music. He'll buy a fucking track. Because what Paige come out to? She came out to
Green's We Will Rock.
what song? Yeah.
Jason, to answer your question, while both gentlemen took sips at the same time was kind of creepy. Aesthetically and visually, it looked great. Personally, I'm sick of the song, but I might be in a minority about that. This isn't even about me bashing Jericho. I'm just sick of hearing Judas.
Judas in my mind.
It's really not that good of a song to me. It's just the hook is catchy. But I guess that's what it takes. Catchy hook. That's all you really need nowadays. But visually, I thought it looked really cool. I was nervous because okay, is he gonna be winded getting to the ring? But he walked at a very slow pace. I didn't want him to be overly winded and singing at the same time.
You didn't want him to Ultimate Warrior himself out to the ring?
Admit, man. Come on, Jones. Just admit it, man. He did. This is probably his best match in the past year.
I said this is. I co-signed. I said this is his best match he's had in AEW. Period. So, great match. I'm just. I didn't need to see him perform his song live. Again, I don't like the song, so. And I would have rather seen Ospreay fight somebody a little differently. But this was a bigger name for Ospreay to put on his a notch in his belt with. So
I think that's what it was. Give him the rub. Man, his moonsault off the top rope onto Jericho, who was laying on the top rope. Man.
Now I'm just hoping that at Bound for Glory, that rumored match I heard from him happens.
What's the rumored match?
Him versus Josh Alexander.
Ooh. Dude, the Stormbreaker, man, Jericho took that pretty well. I'll give him that.
Jericho, the German suplex he gave him on the apron made me very upset though. Because I was like, if you hurt him, you just cost paydays. I guess they had little breadcrumbs sprinkled in there because it looked like Sammy was going to turn on him the whole match, but he didn't.
See, that's what I thought. I thought Sammy was going to turn on Jericho, hit him with something, and then that's how Ospreay would win. You know.
But a clean victory looks better in the records anyway. Match of the night for me. I'm torn because I went on the record of saying, as much as I like both MJF and Adam Cole, I didn't think that was a main event, Wembley Stadium worthy main event. Damn good match, well booked. They gave me well above my expectations, so I'm sorry, guys. You were right. You guys were worthy of a Wembley Stadium main event. However, stop playing with my emotions like that. You almost gave me a freaking stroke.
Did you catch MJF and Adam Cole's Hot Wings challenge? The Hot Wings challenge?
Yes.
That shit was hilarious too.
Like, he's slowly pulling back the curtain more and more on his character, and it's throwing me off.
No, Jones, man. Be nice about Jericho, or else I'll bring on a Canadian guy.
Wow.
Well, D ready to slap it down on the desk.
What else can we jump into?
Like, what would you? I want to know, like, what grade would you give the pay-per-view?
Overall?
Ooh.
Yeah.
We doing letter, number, what? Because that'll
1 through
differentiate.
10. 1 through 10. What grade?
10 being
10 being the highest.
I'm going to give it an 8, but I took away points because of the Stadium Stampede match.
Okay.
That match drained me. And it's going to sound weird. I love Mox. I really love Eddie Kingston. I love Claudio. I don't give a shit about Willer Yuta. Proud and Powerful. I was glad to see them back. Penta, I like.
Ray Phoenix would have been so good in that match.
Yeah, visa issue.
He would have super
I
kicked
loved.
everybody.
I love Best Friends. Most people don't like them, but I love them. What lost points for me? Orange Cassidy getting the victory, and I wouldn't put on that kind of match in Wembley. That's just me personally. But where Orange won is where Eddie Kingston should have pinned Claudio. I know they have a blood feud, a legit one, but it would have made more sense for Eddie to get a pin over him. So I'm going with 8.
So I'm gonna score this with the preface though. I missed the Stampede match because my stream was being a little sissy, and I missed about half of the Orange Cassidy match and
Same match.
the Young Bucks match.
You saw every other match?
I saw everything else. Yeah, you can watch AEW weekly and see kind of the same thing. I'm not a big Ospreay guy. Never been. Seen like 4 of his matches probably in my life. So I don't have the bar to judge him on. But overall, for Wembley Stadium, what they did, what they accomplished, the historicness of what they accomplished, I go like 7.6.
So 7.6?
Yep.
Okay.
I do the pizza challenge type of score.
No worries.
I give it an 8 because of the magnitude it was in. I give them credit for selling out Wembley, which I thought it was going to be tough, but those fans in England, man, love wrestling, and they haven't had it there since '92. I was upset about the stadium stampedes. I mean, I didn't like. I like it better like in an actual stadium, like when they were in the Jaguar Stadium and everything else. You know, it was. You know, I liked it that way.
Oh, okay.
Like I just didn't like it. Like, you know, it was just too all over the place. I just don't like. I just do not like Orange Cassidy getting the win. Like I hate it. Just don't like it. So I give it an 8. But like everything else, like, I'm sorry, man. I love the FTR and Young Bucks match. I just loved it. I'm sorry. Like, I thought it was a good match, man. Like you were like on the seat, like I was on the seat. I'm like, man, if they let Young Bucks win, the place is gonna riot.
Yeah.
Like, but it was good, you know, like a classic match. They had their bumps, they had their spots, but I like it. Like when I see a lot of like, you know, people talk about like wrestling, I don't like it. When did you start watching wrestling? 2003? That's your, you know.
See, and that's where like I'm hard to like appease because I stopped in like 04 and didn't pick back up until like 2019. So I missed a gap that I'll never be able to catch up with.
All right, well, Jones, you asked for it, so I got to do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, PTM proudly presents to you. Is he the only Canadian? He's the only Canadian, huh?
He's my Canadian.
He's
I
my
love
Canadian, the Double D Destroyer. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Canada.
I'm not going to let this go on any longer. I'm tired of this. First of all, don't disrespect Jericho. He's a Canadian legend. You!
He's too old, though. What's the senior citizen in Canada? Is it still like 65?
65, yeah.
Yeah, so he's almost there.
That's when you can collect CPP, your Canadian pension plan.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we have AARP or some shit here, whatever it is.
Okay. I'm not disrespecting a Canadian. You know what? You and I have had conversations about this. So go ahead. The floor is yours.
It was a really good show. I have to agree, though. MJF and Adam Cole are not quite main event material. MJF, though, is showing what he's capable of. And I think he got a spotlight. He got to show that he's the real deal. And did he I know it's kind of low key and hasn't been really confirmed. Has he signed an extension with AEW yet?
Nothing yet, but it should be coming soon.
He alluded, right? I think once on Dynamite that Tony threw him a lot of money or something like that.
Yeah.
But if he hasn't signed on the dotted line yet, his value's gone up. And the fact that he got to wrestle in front of 81,000 plus fans in the main event, retain the title, and you know what? At first, I didn't really like him as a face. I've got to be honest. I prefer heel MJF, but he's doing it. He's making it work, even if it's not my cup of tea. The fans are behind him, and he's got the support. Face or heel, the guy's magic. He's the best thing they have going, next to Will Ospreay, but he's not officially signed to AEW just yet.
Oh my God. This is so far off topic, and I apologize for this. But I was watching Boogie Nights the other night. Panetta, I have a Halloween costume challenge for you.
Hit me up.
Dirk Diggler in the music studio. You got to touch.
Oh my God.
Bro, I don't know why. I just seen him on camera. I was just like, oh, I love it. Sorry for the recession, but that was just
What year is that? Is that like
97 maybe.
Yeah, I think Joe's right.
Yeah.
But to answer
'Cause-
Miguel's
'cause-
question really quickly, they have a habit of just leaning on cities for events. Let them do it. They look at it. Double or Nothing, Vegas. All Out, Chicago.
They go to Chicago like every month.
Chicago without the savior.
And so All In, let them try to do Wembley again next year. Let's see if they can actually package.
Jones, are you
that
gonna be
thing.
there?
I'm actually shooting for that one.
I might too. I've already
But
talked to
I'm
the wife.
just-
She's down, man.
I'm just confused at the fact that why are you trying to follow the grandiose twice? Let it marinate. Embrace it.
I agree.
I just don't want to get stuck there like two people.
Is Mirabito home yet?
I think he is.
I think he finally got home.
Someone do a wellness check on that.
Right, because when Marabito posted he just got there, I was like, what the fuck? Like, but it's an adventure. I give him that.
And then meanwhile, you got James. Now he's in Boston.
Yep.
He's
Dude, James is my hero of
in
travel,
the world,
right?
Well, in the countries he's allowed in.
True.
It's true.
Yeah, I still got his Brock Lesnar seasoning and barbecue sauce here, so whenever he comes back to Ohio, it will be here for him. Maybe if I'm
I'd
not
spit
using
in
it.
it before I give it to him.
He's
When
a
I
man
was
about.
When I went to the Bearded Butcher store, man, he's like texting me like crazy, like yo. Do they got this? Do they got this? Let's go.
But you got to respect their travels, man. That's freaking awesome that they could travel like that, and we all can live vicariously through their Facebook dumps. I appreciate it.
It's fun to travel.
Let's see. So since you're on camera now and you wanted to admonish me, what was your final grade for the pay-per-view?
Out of 10?
Yes.
On a Canadian scale or an American scale?
American.
I don't know. I only know metric.
Yeah, but
I give it a solid 7.5.
Okay. It's around the same as
Stadium Stampede was also my bathroom break. And I didn't care for the 6-man match. I love the Bang Bang Gang. I do. But Omega in any form of a tag match on a big pay-per-view, Booker of the Year, right?
I forgot that match. The Bang Bang Gang.
Right? I would have loved to have seen Jay White and Omega in a singles match if you're going to have that story continue. I just don't like seeing Omega in any form of a tag match.
I want the Bang Bang Gang as the champions. I love them.
Okay. I forgot to even mention this about that match. My gripe with that match is some people's favorite wrestler in that match is still not in wrestling shape. Stop putting him in these big spots. He almost killed himself a couple times. Coda, sit down. Go. You should have gone to the performance center.
He's got to cut the carbs.
He dropped weight since
He
Bloody
did
Guts.
since his debut, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's still he's got that ring rust, or he's just not up to par with where he should be.
You know what? Every time I see Juice Robinson, like I love Juice Robinson. Love his girl. But man, every time I see him, I swear I go back to CJ Parker and NXT and squashed by the great Khali. Like, I'm sorry.
They're not the same person. They're not the same person.
You know, but I'm sorry. I just love it. The Bang Bang Gang. God, Collision is so good.
Okay.
What's Collision going to look like on Saturday?
Hey, I'll be there. Me and James will be there in 2 weeks, man.
You better start a cult of personality chant. That's what I want to hear.
I'll be wearing my punk shirt.
You won't be allowed in the building. I'm sorry,
But
sir.
I
You're not allowed
will
in the
tell
building
you
with that
this,
shirt.
for that show, the tickets are not selling well.
I wonder why.
Well, they're in a bigger venue, so they need to be, I think, they don't need to go to these big arenas yet. They need to be still in, like, small.
Shit, October they're coming to the fucking Stockton.
There you go. Go to it.
It's worth experiencing, Ethan. Yeah.
I'll say Dynamite will be here in October too.
Honestly, I'm not sure what your last live event has been, but it might be going back a few years.
January 1992.
Sheesh.
I'm not going to say how old I was.
So I was 1.
But so it's been a while.
Yeah.
It'd be just for modern wrestling. It's a good experience. It's good to. It's a different vibe, and I think Joey can attest to that. Very different crowd.
When I went to Dynamite last year, I was like, wow, like way different than WWE, but I love it.
He said he was born in April of '93. Jesus, I'm old.
Jeez. Gosh.
But Bedoya has those boyish good looks though, so it's just like it's never gonna leave him. He's gonna be 50 and you're gonna be like, man, that's a handsome 20-year-old.
It's true. It's true.
Oh man.
He's got sneakers definitely older than him.
Absolutely.
When they bury Bedoya, man, they're gonna get like the little kids coffin, like from My Girl, from Macaulay Culkin.
How's
Straight
my
out of
Canadian
Thomas
internet,
J.
by the way? Since you like shitting all over.
First of all, it's only bad when we play Fight Forever. Okay, you only lag when we play Fight Forever.
Yeah, I just thought I'd ask.
But it's better than Nico's because he likes to talk shit about Ray Phoenix.
Okay.
Go into the All Out. Come on, man.
That's what I was looking up the card, so I wasn't ignorant about the
Oh,
card.
I got the card.
I got it right here too. Should I start with the match? I'm just gonna read off the card. Period. I have issues with the card, but I'll discuss that later. We're not gonna do that. Miro versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Kenny Omega versus Takeshita.
Let's go, Miro.
Eddie Kingston and Shibata versus the Blackpool Combat Club.
It's just Claudio and Useless, right?
Yeah, Useless.
Yeah.
Bullet Club Gold versus FTR and the Young Bucks. I do not understand that. I will have issues with that again. I don't understand that. Adam Cole MJF versus whoever wins at Collision or Rampage this week for the
I think it's Rampage.
the Battle Royal for the tag team titles. Statlander versus Ruby Soho. For some reason they have Luchasaurus defending the TNT Championship.
He's not the real
Darby Allin,
champion.
but it should be Christian. So I'm confused. Is there a Freebird rule on the belt or something? And then you have.
I wouldn't be surprised if Darby Allin beats Luchasaurus, but then he doesn't actually win the title. Christian's the real champion.
It's like, no, I'm the real champ. Didn't work that way. Then you have Pockets versus John Moxley for the International Championship.
Which I don't understand how that stipulation worked out.
And then the match, the match they just announced, but I'm extremely interested in. Samoa Joe versus Shane Taylor for the TV title.
That'll be good. It's a weak card.
This is Dynamite Collision type card.
I hope Moxley beats the shit out of Pockets and wins the title.
He's going to end up beating the shit out of him, and then it's going to be a 1, 2, 3 kid situation.
Don't do that, Jones. Don't do that.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. But my issue is, why do we have back-to-back pay-per-views? Like, back-to-back. Like,
Especially coming off of Wembley.
Did you see he wanted to put them like both together?
He wanted to merge them, but the carriers, there's no way to really make that work.
You should have done it. You should have found a way to try to do a package deal.
I think he tried from
Yeah,
what
it was
he
like-
said today, right? He tried to get but it wouldn't work across the various providers.
I wouldn't pay for this card. I'm sorry.
No, I wouldn't either. I paid for All In, and it was a good show, a really good show. This one,
I'm sorry. I'm not paying for this card. Is this going to be on free TV or?
It's gonna be a $50 pay-per-view that'll be paid for.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry.
Ugh.
It will be paid.
I'll find it.
Until people stop paying for it. It's going to still be pay-per-views.
But
So-
you look like what's the main event? Adam Cole and MJF.
No, it's going to be either Orange Cassidy or Samoa Joe and Shane Taylor.
Oh, come on, man. First of all, I think it's wrong that you got Miro versus Powerhouse Hobbs when those two are, CM Punk's, right hand man.
Yeah. So predictions for this, I'm gonna go. Hopefully Mox. Darby wins, but Darby wins by count out or something like that. So Christian remains champion. Honestly forgot Chris Statlander was champion, so give the belt to Ruby Soho. Adam Cole and MJF. I don't know who they're facing, so it's kind of hard to predict the win or loss for them. I don't think the storyline's changing just yet, so watch them end up fighting the Kingdom, now that I think about it.
There's only one good match on the whole card.
Samoa Joe and Shane Taylor. I don't know how to pick this because I like both of them. It's almost time for Joe to drop the belt, but him and Shane could drag this out for a while. That can be a war. Miro and Powerhouse. I like both of them. However, this should have been on All In's card. This could have been one of the matches just to, as Big E was saying, two big meaty men slapping meat in front of thousands. Shibata and Eddie Kingston versus the Blackpool Combat Club. I have no interest in. I want Eddie to win just because it's Eddie Kingston. Bullet Club Gold should win because the other two teams should not get along.
I think that's going to be a good
And-
match. Probably the match of the night.
And I want Takeshita to beat Omega again.
what's the end game with Omega?
I don't care. He's done everything already.
That's true.
Omega should have waited for the Bucks to sign their contracts first, and he was like, "Peace."
He should have. He should have dipped. He should have dipped. That. Yeah. No, I'm not excited for this card at all.
No, I'll take the WWE pay-per-view over this one.
All right, so there we go. Our predictions are not a good pay-per-view, but watch it be a good pay-per-view.
Especially without CM Punk.
Let's see. What do we have for
Yeah.
Payback?
No. Let's go. Do you want to do Payback or going to the Pumpkin?
Well, Payback ain't gonna take but 5 seconds.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
finish the pay-per-view.
Yeah. It's LA Knight versus The Miz. I'm interested. LA Knight needs to win. Austin Theory versus Rey Mysterio.
Yawn.
Both men need to lose.
Yawn.
Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
I hope
I'm
Judgment Day
s-
wins because
I'm sick of both of those teams fighting each other. Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Gonzalez.
My girl, mommy.
Rodriguez now.
Rodriguez I think she gets the Lex Luger treatment.
That's I would yeah, I think you just hit it on the head.
You win by count out. Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus.
Cage match.
Cage match. Trish wins. with interference from Tiffany Stratton.
I think Becky wins.
Girl.
So I'll deviate on that one.
Either way, I'd still expect Tiffany Stratton to interfere.
Yeah, my baby. So
Somehow, some way. Yeah.
I mean, I think this will be a good send off for Trish because this is one of the matches she wanted to do before she retires. So,
And the main event, if they get this wrong, I'm gonna be pissed. Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
I know.
Nakamura should
about
be
your
taking
back.
this championship. Nakamura should win the championship here. He is on his A game right now. He's cutting the best promos of his life, whether they're subtitled or not for you ignorant fucks. But these are the best promos of his career here.
I wish this is how they booked him when he first came
Yes.
to WWE.
yeah, you know what? I loved him. I loved the storyline he did with Joe in NXT when they were fighting for the title. When the security guards had Joe restrained and like Nakamura would like tap him on his cheek, just like teasing him. Perfect.
I think Shinsuke's got the best. I think Shinsuke's got the best music also right now. Entrance music. I'm a fan of.
I need side plates because I don't want to put Rollins side plates on that belt behind me. Man.
I'm torn on this match because I thought Shinsuke should have beat AJ at WrestleMania and got the title win. Or not at WrestleMania or the next pay-per-view, whatever. But like Shinsuke in NXT, man, you know, he was just like on a run. Comes up to the main roster, one, wins the Rumble, and then
Oh, that's how the song goes.
I know, but like I don't think they give him the title. I just don't see Rollins losing it. But if they do give Shinsuke the title, Damien's gonna cash in on him.
Shinsuke doesn't have to have a long title reign. He just needs to have one.
Now, does it happen in the same night?
Yeah.
Does Shinsuke win and then Priest cashes in?
But I'm happy for Raquel because they're booking her. They're booking her like strong girl, like how she was in NXT. In NXT, she was dominant. Like watch her in War Games, she was dominant in that match. She came up to the roster, you know, like you got to book her strong like you did in NXT. I think they're doing that now. I think it'll be a solid match. I wouldn't be shocked if Raquel got the win, but I think they keep it on Rhea. I think Rhea holds it to Mania. I don't think you can take it off of Rhea. Now, Miz in theory should be a freaking velocity match or a free for all.
Damn, velocity.
Velocity. Woo.
I'm sorry. I think Ray was benefited by Santos Escobar getting injured for him winning that title. LA Knight and The Miz, I like those two going at it. I think it'll be a fun little match. The crowd will be behind it. I'm sorry. I'm getting sick of Zayn and Owens as tag team champions.
It's been dead since they won.
I'm sorry. They got their WrestleMania moment, but they haven't done shit with those titles. If they put that as the main event, I'm going to be upset.
I doubt it. You're not going to put...
But, I mean, I don't have high hopes for this pay-per-view. But you never know. It could deliver. But I would like to see Balor and Priest get the titles just so they could feud some more, you know, on Judgment Day.
Another odd couple of champions.
Speaking of Balor, his last win was, what was that, Jones? 2019?
Yeah. That's the Fiend hasn't won since 2019.
That's... There's no words, man. Guy wins your Universal title, drops it due to injury.
But look at this. There's no IC on the card. There's no IC title on the card. Like,
That's because the record's this week.
yeah, I understand that, but like at least just
The record's this week, so... Triple H also said he didn't want to overcrowd the pay-per-views, so...
they only have 6 matches. Like, it's gotta
He
be.
gives everybody a chance to breathe.
They may add some more. Maybe.
That IC record day is coming up when?
Friday.
This Friday?
No, it was Wednesday.
Okay.
Wednesday, Thursday. But he has to get through Chad on Monday.
So you got Payback Saturday and All Out Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Right. I guess we'll now get to the main event of our topics.
Look in my eyes, what do you see? A bitch named
The cult of Luke Perry.
Someday, I'm gonna kick your ass. And
He
there's
came through with his
apparently
promise.
CCTV footage of it happening.
So, before Jones brings it into that segment, so according to Fightful, where is it at? Oh, please tell me they did not take it down. There is an alleged video footage of the Jack Perry CM Punk incident backstage at All In last Saturday. Cameras were scattered all throughout Wembley as AEW was documenting the record-breaking event.
Who's gonna leak it? Brandon Cutlet?
Yup.
I've never seen a company that has such loose lips like AEW.
Every 5 minutes, something's leaking with them.
Because even though it's not reported on or whatever, this shit happens. Maybe not to this extent, right? But this shit happens in a lot of locker rooms and has over many, many decades in wrestling.
Happens on airplanes.
And on airplanes. But this is insane. And you got guys like Alvarez and Meltzer that are just spinning that wheel.
Dude, even Wade Keller as well. Like, you've seen, like, so many incidents come out. Like, people are like, oh, Punk and Miro got into a fight. They were joking. It's like, what the?
But how do you get a serious fight and it was all in jest? Like,
you know what I think? I think probably somebody like Brandon Cutler or the Bucks saw it and was like, yo, Meltzer, Punk and Miro, Punk tried to start a fight with Miro. And then, like, say, like, Miro or Hobbs, tell somebody that's, reliable, like, no, we were joking. Like,
That part.
And monitors fell on him.
Yeah, monitors fell on Tony Khan, but he needs to investigate. What are you investigating if you were there?
Yeah, like, I think Tony needs to get that locker room in order. Like, I understand that. Like, he needs to do something. But
I'm not going to sit back and take this shit.
But here's the issue. You look at Brett and Sean back in the day when they would get fights in the locker room and stuff. Vince couldn't control it, basically. Because you had stuff.
When you start a poll of who's going to have their first Bret Hart, Vince McMahon moment with Tony Khan.
See him soon.
I wish Punk punched Tony. I wish he fucking clocked him.
He didn't punch him. He drilled him.
Yeah. But, like, it's happened so many times. Like, the Punk and Perry situation at Collision, when Punk was like, no, it's not safe, blah, blah. And even Tony Schiavone was like, yeah, it's not safe. But why did they go after Punk? Why didn't he say something about Schiavone? Like, I'm not saying Punk's
a conspiracy.
Yeah, I'm not saying, like, Punk's a sweetheart. Like, Punk, probably could rub some people the wrong way. But there's a lot of people in the business that you read stories and see that rub people the wrong way. Like, their attitude. Like, you hear stories about JBL beating the shit out of the Blue Meanie and punking him and bullying him backstage in WWE. Why doesn't JBL get the same, thing? You heard stuff about The Miz, how he had to, put on his gear in, like, a janitor closet, I mean...
JBL and Punk were hanging out the other day.
Dude, like, I mean, like...
He's getting tips.
Punk's a different cat, we can all agree with that. But you also got these young wrestlers that think their shit don't stink, that think they know it all.
Like Jack Perry.
Jack Perry could be one. I mean, you hear about Brian Pillman Jr. too, another one. I mean, I've heard it. I'm just saying.
He's in a safe place right now. Don't let him have fun.
I'm just saying.
He's at the Performance Center. He's good.
But I mean, why does, like I said, I'm not saying Punk's perfect. He's got his faults. But I mean, this ain't nothing new. People act like, oh shit, this is brand new. No, it's not. It's happened plenty of time.
Oh, really, Nick? Nicholas.
Does he play with wrestlers?
I've got my LJNs above me right here.
There you go. Exactly. Like,
This was like
this is nothing new.
you're losing money, but he is that much of a mark where it wouldn't be a surprise.
Tony's probably liking it. Like, yeah.
You think he realized when the monitors fell on him, or he was too coked out to even know?
No, he was probably, when it fell on him, he's probably like, I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit. In the press conference.
Like, good. Stop letting the monitors fall on you. Move out the way.
Nah, I'm gonna say he was coked out. It was the equivalent of us falling asleep with our iPhone in our hand, tagging the face. He was just coked out.
But he did in an interview, I forget who it was, but he said, like, if anything ever happened to me, who I would leave in charge of AEW would be Bryan Danielson. Mm-hmm. I think what Bryan Danielson would be perfect. I think he can control that. I think he would be great. But he's injured right now, so I don't know if he was there or not. But I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. And it's just
They need at this point, they need a locker room leader. Like, evidently, the father figure in the locker room isn't controlling anything. Come on, Christian, get on your job.
Yeah, like.
But you need an enforcer.
They need a father. They need a father.
I agree. I agree with this, man. Some people do not like the truth.
Even Bully Ray said that
Yes.
Jack Perry should be fired. Make an example out of him.
You need to make an example. I'm like, you go on air saying something because you got mad they told you not to do a spot. You're trying to, who are you trying to prove something to? And like, whoever you told it to, who didn't stop you, they ain't your friends because they don't care about your job at all. Because they probably said you probably shouldn't do that. You know, Punk don't like doing such things this way, so he might try to fight you, or he might get you fired. Either way, it's not going to be good for you.
I mean, I remember when the Dudleys told us they were doing a shoot interview, and they said, like, when Public Enemy came into WWE, they rubbed, the APA the wrong way, and the APA roughed them up bad. So when the Dudleys were coming in, they already knew, like, hey, Public Enemy had a bad reputation, and, like, I remember he said, like, Ron Simmons came up to him, he's like, I think Bubba and D-Ron, they wanted to hit him with, like, a 2x4. He's like, yo, should I do this? And Ron's like, you do know how to use a 2x4, don't you? And Bubba's like, hey, Devon, we got this. Don't worry, And they beat the shit out of the Dudleys, and the Dudleys gave it right back. And in the backstage, they shook hands. It was respect. That's what it is. Like, don't rub them the wrong way. Jack Perry probably did that.
Perry was going around telling people that he was going to say it too. Like, I know that's alleged, but if there's any truth to that, all the more reason.
Well, Perry is a Young Bucks guy, so he wants to be part of the elite. You're about to be part of the unemployment line, so you pick your battles.
I mean, I love the company. I just don't know what they're going to do. It's like Jekyll and Hyde. Like, you don't know what's going to happen one week from the other. But also, this was like 94, 95. We wouldn't have known any of this. The internet and the dirt sheets and a lot of these. Like, you listen to Pritchard and Conrad. Every time Conrad brings up the Wrestling Observer, Pritchard just goes off on Meltzer. You listen to 83 Weeks with Conrad and Bischoff. Bischoff just goes off on Wade Keller. Like, you got these dirt sheet writers, basically clickbait articles. They may hear something, spin it, and then just boom. And it may not be true.
Everyone's a journalist.
Oh,
Yeah, you got to take one from Jerry Jones, though. A lot of it is the inmates running the prison.
Yep.
Then you got guys like Cutlet and Nakazawa and everyone else close with the Bucks, just spinning their own narrative. And then the whole story with Miro, like the Punk fighting Miro, that was laughable. I don't think anyone in their right mind would go up to Miro and try and pick a fight with him.
Yeah. I mean, those two known each other, Miro, and they're joking, and people are like, "Oh my God, they're about to fight!" Here's two guys I think you should have as locker room leaders: Mark Henry and Paul White. Why not those two?
Paul White was good on commentary on 0 Hour.
Yes, he was. He was
incredible
amazing.
to see that insight. They need to do more of that, whether it be at a pay-per-view or because when Dark Elevation was a thing, he was on commentary, and he's got a lot of knowledge. Him and Henry. That's why they were brought in, but they got to use them more. Utilize your talent. Utilize those legends.
I'm going to be that guy. One of them should have Jim Ross's spot.
So here's the thing. I'm going to tell you about All In. I told you guys this, I love Nigel McGuinness and Taz on commentary. Those two cracked me up. Like, Taz is just going off on England and Nigel's going off in New York. But, now it's like, back in Wembley, 92, Bret Hart and British Bulldog, that's the reason why I became a wrestler. Taz like, really? That's the reason? Nigel like, yeah. What made you want to become a wrestler, Taz? I needed money and I needed a job. It's just those two. The balance with those two. Excalibur, Nigel, and Taz, I think are perfect together. Man.
They help Excalibur a lot.
Yes.
They keep him on track. When he's running the show, I can't listen to him. But when he's paired with those two gentlemen, it's much better.
I miss Nigel in, NXT, as an announcer. Loved him there. I think he should be used more in AEW as an announcer. Your main announcing team should be Shivani, Taz, and Excalibur. But I love Nigel with Taz, man. Those two, great. They fed off each other well. It was kind of like a JR, Jerry Lawler, Gorilla and Heenan situation.
Any other final thoughts before I read this text message I just got?
Oh, snap.
This is the one I sent you? You can't read that on air.
Well, I'm not. I'll be smiling a lot more for that one, but no. Okay.
Is it from who I think it's from?
Yeah. So next week, the guy who's not here sent me a message saying there's a show planned next week. He's going to be doing it solo. So I need to know what's going to be happening. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to be saying and why it's a solo show. So I'll be tuned in. I think you all should be as well. With that said,
maybe he's gonna suspend us all, because we put him on.
Imagine taking. I'm gonna go the other way. Imagine taking all the time off you want, and then just coming back and kicking everybody out. Must be nice.
He can't kick me out.
Just saying, I'll fucking hijack the link.
oh,
Sign him out of his own StreamYard. It's been done before.
On that note, good night.